biography continuing to make headlines. Tom Bower's bombshell book, Revenge, Meghan, Harry and the War Between the Windsors, documents Meghan Markle's life from her early years through to her rift with the royal family. And Tom joins us.
Oh, my God, you are not ready for this. It's the bombshell Meghan and Harry were praying would stay buried forever. But guess what? Tom Bower, the fearless investigative author, has finally dropped the truth bomb, and it's absolutely explosive. His latest book doesn't just poke holes in their story, it blows the whole freedom fairy tale wide open. You know, the one where they're brave lovers escaping the cruel palace to live a life of purpose? Yeah, that one. Turns out it was nothing more than a carefully curated lie. Behind the scenes, it's ambition, manipulation, betrayal, and not the subtle kind either. This is ruthless, cold-blooded stuff.
Bombshell, and I think certainly it's true in this case. Meghan, Harry and the War Between the Windsors is indeed the title. How toxic do you believe the entire relationship is at this point?
Well, I think it's very toxic. I think they do their best, the Windsors, Prince Charles, the Queen.
According to Bower, this isn't just a controversial relationship, it's corrosive. The couple once praised for breaking tradition, now stand accused of breaking way more than that. Think trust, family bonds, and royal reputations. He's not sugarcoating anything. Meghan's portrayed as someone obsessed with fame, while Harry, Bower paints him as a shadow of who he used to be. Not a prince in love, but a lost soul echoing Meghan's every move. And now, they're panicking, like full-blown crisis mode, because Bower is exposing it all, painting them not as victims, but as master manipulators. And that fairy tale? It's burning fast.
With Harry's memoir about to come out. But ever since Meghan left Britain and then did the Oprah Winfrey interview, it's been really poisonous.
Well, before writing the book and researching the book, what camp were you in? Did you love the royal family? Did you respect Harry and Meghan? Or were you just fairly neutral? How did you approach?
So get this, every single move they made, from the love story to the Megxit drama to their media explosion, it was all pre-planned. Bower lays it all out. Every interview, every lawsuit, every dramatic statement, all rehearsed. He says Meghan brought her Hollywood game and Harry, desperate for freedom, became her partner in building a brand. A brand built not on love, but on control, strategy, and playing the victim card for profit. This wasn't two lovebirds escaping the crown. This was a power duo plotting each step like it was a chessboard. Cold, calculated, choreographed.
I didn't really begin thinking about Meghan other than interest until the Oprah Winfrey interview.
So it was that interview
that what sparked it. I thought that was just such a disgrace.
According to Bower, this was never about healing. It was about hijacking the spotlight. Meghan and Harry crafted their image as global icons, even if it meant throwing truth and loyalty under the bus. The most damning part? Meghan's public accusations, especially the ones about bullying and racism. They shook the world. But Bower, he's got palace sources, legal records, and they're saying her claims don't add up. Some stories straight up inconsistent, others dropped at just the right time to cause maximum drama. Experts are even saying her accusations might cross into defamation, as in she could be legally liable under UK law. This isn't just a PR mess, it's a legal landmine. And Bower believes it was never about justice. It was about using shockwaves to take down the monarchy and grab attention.
Don't think for a moment that she's not convincing quite a lot of people, especially in America and in Africa and the Caribbean and elsewhere, that somehow she was thrown to the wolves. Of course, that's completely untrue, because she had all the time Scotland Yard protecting her, and all the time.
And what about Harry? Oh, this part is heartbreaking. He's not the brave rebel he wants us to see. Bower shows him as increasingly lost, emotionally fragile, and completely isolated. Insiders are talking. They say Harry is no longer making his own calls. Meghan runs the show, from decisions to press statements. Aides describe him as unstable, easily swayed, and deeply unhappy. He gave up his royal duty for what? A life wrapped in a woe is me identity?
People speaking on her behalf. So it's a complete lie that she's perpetuating. But I do think they're convincing. I think that people will believe this confection produced by Hollywood. But the point that I really think is important to put to them is, and to Hollywood and to Netflix, for creating this barrage of lies.
Remember the strong, confident prince we once admired? According to Bauer, he's gone. What we see now is a man crushed under Meghan's control, trapped in a web of choices he can't seem to untangle. And the palace staff? Oh, they're finally speaking out. Former Kensington Palace employees, people who work directly with Meghan, are pulling back the curtain. What they describe isn't the kind modern duchess the media pushed. It's someone cold, controlling, even hostile.
Not prepared to tell the truth on their behalf. I mean, it's a complete fiction. It's worse than a fiction. It's actually damaging and corrosive. Because in that case you mentioned, which Meghan brought in London against the tabloids, it's quite clear that her staff in Buckingham Palace were doing everything.
The environment, toxic. Some staff couldn't take it anymore and resigned. There are reports of tantrums, threats, intimidation. It was Meghan's way or the highway. This wasn't a workplace, it was a battleground. Meghan demanded absolute loyalty and crushed anyone who didn't fall in line. And perhaps the most chilling part, the way family ties were treated.
In telling her own lies, that it was all a mystery to her. And that's what's so terrible, that the more she lies, the more credibility she's getting. And that's thanks to Netflix and the Hollywood producers. And Harry,
we are going to
is part of it.
We are going to hear who they are, as outlined in that trailer, 100%. And they've
her broken relationship with her dad, Harry's growing rift with William. None of it's random. Bauer says it was strategy. If you didn't agree, if you dared to criticize, you were cut off. No questions asked. This wasn't about boundaries. It was about control, about isolating themselves and rewriting their own story, unchallenged. He calls them family traitors, people who turned their backs on those who once defined them, just to protect their narrative and chase the spotlight.
Of stories. And he is absolutely getting ready to say in this next 3 episodes that the palace and its staffers, courtiers, whatever, were planting negative stories on him and her. That's what she means, I think, clearly by they threw me to the wolves or they fed me to the wolves. By the way, it's the same thing. That they were going to be the dumping ground for.
And now, it's all unraveling. Meghan and Harry's perfect image, the carefully curated love story, is collapsing under the weight of real facts, shocking insider testimonies, and a tidal wave of legal scrutiny. Inside their Montecito mansion, it's chaos. They're scrambling, desperate to control the narrative, but it's slipping through their fingers. Because here's the truth, this couple isn't a fairy tale. It's a drama darker than anyone could have imagined, twisted, calculated, and totally out of control.
So how is the palace likely to deal with that?
Well, it was great difficulty because, of course, they're lying. They themselves created the bad press by behaving so irrationally and so hypocritically. Like, for example, refusing to visit the Queen in Balmoral on the grounds that Archie was too young to fly.
And guess what? We're only getting started. According to Bauer, all this heartbreak and chaos, it's not accidental. It's a business, a full-on strategy. From the tearful interviews to the multi-million-dollar podcast and Netflix deals, Meghan and Harry have built a brand. Not on authenticity, but on victimhood. Every emotional moment, it's been staged, every confession designed to dominate headlines and drive sympathy-fueled contracts. This isn't just neediness, it's commerce. Meghan and Harry are cashing in on pain, turning personal grievances into public currency. And when that public love doesn't come fast enough, oh, they lash out. It's a vicious cycle, and it's poisoning everything around them. And Meghan? Bauer digs even deeper into her Hollywood state of mind. He says she's never wanted to be in the background, not even for a second.
The problem is that I don't think silence will silence them anymore by the Royal Palace. The Royal Palace is going to have to come out and give their version, because the only way the Sussexes can earn their living is by carrying on regurgitating their moans and complaints and lies.
She didn't marry into the royal family to play second fiddle. From day one, she demanded control over the story, over decisions, over everything. Bauer shows how this desire for dominance was nothing new. Even back in her acting days, she was gunning for top billing. Every audition, every connection, it was all about power, prestige, and the spotlight. That attitude didn't fade once she wore a tiara. It only intensified, and it clashed hard with the royal institution. Inside the palace, tension, conflict. Staff walked on eggshells. And Harry, the prince who once bravely shared his mental health struggles? Bauer's version is a bit less inspiring. He says those raw moments we all applauded, they weren't always spontaneous. Many were orchestrated, part of Meghan's PR playbook. Those vulnerable interviews, timed. Those therapeutic breakthroughs, packaged perfectly for public empathy. Yes, Harry may care about mental health, but according to the book, it's all been curated to maintain their brand. A brand built on blurred lines between real healing and calculated showmanship. And it gets even messier. Meghan's obsession with lawsuits, remember those?
What do you make of the relationship now between these brothers? I heard you on with Dan Wootton on GB News saying Diana would be horrified at what her one son is doing to the other. Not to mention to King Charles now at the beginning of his reign. I mean, he's really trying to sabotage the whole thing from the look of it. What do you think?
At first, people admired her, thought she was protecting her peace, standing up for her privacy. But now, the constant suing of tabloids, of a strange family, of anyone who dares speak, has started to backfire. Critics say this isn't about truth anymore. It's about intimidation, silencing, controlling what the world sees and hears. And the fallout? It's just beginning. Sources close to the palace are reportedly furious, feeling vindicated even, as Bowers' findings confirm the rumors they've had to swallow in silence. Meanwhile, Meghan and Harry's media empire is showing cracks. New deals aren't landing the same. Their public statements met with more skepticism than sympathy, because now the public sees it. The manipulation, the emotional choreography, the relentless pursuit of fame wrapped in a cloak of victimhood. And Meghan and Harry, they're feeling the heat, not just in headlines, but in courtrooms, in contracts, in their own backyard. Montecito isn't just their mansion, it's become their fortress. And inside, it's all damage control. Because this isn't just bad press, this is legacy destroying. This is the kind of exposure that rewrites history. The couple who once spoke about love, freedom, and healing are now the center of a firestorm about ego, betrayal, and manipulation. And honestly, people are tired of the performance. They're tired of the drama, the lawsuits, the one-sided interviews. They want the truth. And thanks to Tom Bower, they just might be getting it. So what now? Where do Meghan and Harry go from here? Can they recover? Can they rebuild? Or is this it? The moment the world finally sees through the facade? Time will tell. But one thing is certain, this bombshell isn't fading anytime soon. Tom Bower's revelations have changed the game. And the ripple effects, they're already shaking the very foundation of the Sussex empire. Stay tuned, because if you thought this was the end, it's only the beginning. It's only the beginning.